Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
I think the chairman put it very well when he said that small businesses are worried about regulation. The cost of regulation is a big deal to small businesses, particularly when you just imagine, if you have 1,000 banks or you have one bank, your compliance cost is much greater, obviously, if you have one bank than if you can spread it through 1,000 banks or 10,000 employees. This goes on across America. In addition, we have another problem. We actually have big businesses that come to Washington and actually are in favor of regulation because they see it as an impediment to smaller competition. So I think small business does need a voice, and I hope you'll be a good voice for small business. And I guess what I'd like to ask is, in your opinion, do you think we're over-regulated, under-regulated? Do you think regulations are a problem? Do you have any ideas about how the Small Business Administration might be run to help with the regulatory burden?
Thank you very much, Senator, for your question. What I heard constantly when I was campaigning through the state of Connecticut from small businesses was the over-regulation environment was just costing them time, effort, and money that they couldn't focus on their business. I think we forget sometimes that in small businesses, especially mom-and-pop companies that are starting up, and I have a special place in my heart for them, that, they're the chief cook and bottle washer. They're the CEO, the CFO, they're the janitor, they're every other thing. So when they get a packet of regulation forms that they have to fill out in order to comply with regulations, it's A, they don't know what to do with it, B, they can't afford to hire lawyers to get them through the regulatory environment. So either they become more at fault and not in compliance, or they've taken time away from their business to do it. And so it is really difficult, for small businesses to have to suffer under, I think, that kind of burden of the regulatory environment.
One of the other burdens or costs of small business is taxes, and I probably wouldn't discount it from regulations. I'd probably say it's about equal. A lot of small businesses pass through their income LLCs as individual income, so a moderately successful small business might be paying 39.6, income tax. But then in addition, you got an Obamacare tax, so you're like 43, 44 before you, God forbid, live in the Northeast and have a 12% state income tax on top of that. So I think there is a great burden. You won't get to necessarily address tax policy directly unless there are ways you can as a small business administration, but you also will be a voice in the cabinet. And I'd just like to hear your thoughts on, I guess, in general, the same question. Are we overtaxed, undertaxed? Is our tax structure currently an impediment to the formation of small business?
Well, thank you. And having first started out as a sub-S corp, and then Women's Leadership Live that I started as an LLC, so I fully understand how the pass-through aspect of that income works. And I do think that if we are involved in tax reform, we do need to consider how to also make it a level playing field for those pass-through companies. So I would be a strong advocate for that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator. Senator Cardin.